We cannot keep kicking this can down the road. We invested in the last budget cycle over $1 billion, and it didn't even make a dent. We've got to stop the bleeding. We have to. The Band-Aid approach must stop, and we have to do surgery and reconstruction. And the longer we wait, the more the burden it is becoming on the state budget. It's just a very short period of while before these pensions are going to be pay as you go, and that is not going to be sustainable for the future of the Commonwealth. I'm interested in the possibility of separation to let counties and cities come out of the system as a whole, and let them manage their own assets, and that would it makes good fiscal sense. It's going to allow locals who are making the decisions to have that control. It's the local control. It's the home rule which they hold so dear to their heart, and I believe in. You know, we have buy-in from now KLC, KCO, and the School Board Association, plus all the others that are involved. They sit at the table and testify together, and I think that you know, we're heading that way, and there's enough buy-in on it. You know, our tax policy is antiquated. It's based on a 1950s manufacturing economy that we just don't have, and it needs to be done. I've said it for years, and I'm finally in a position now where hopefully I can speed the process along. You know, we're at such a disadvantage with our antiquated tax policy. I see it every day. People moving across the street in southern Kentucky to Tennessee, where they don't have to pay a personal income tax, and they have a more consumption-based tax system there. So hopefully we will get our tax policy changed in the near future, and as we do that, hopefully also we'll be able to tackle pensions too, and maybe we can tie the two together and work out something that will come up with a dedicated funding source to address some of the pension problems. Anytime you talk about tax reform, you know, usually that's where everybody agrees we need it, but you go to the page 2 and start talking about areas, and that's where the thing starts falling apart. And that's where it's got to be a centralized selling point by the administration to go out and tell the folks this needs to be done, and this is why. In Frankfort, we have this mentality that it's our money. It's our money. You know, it's the taxpayers' money. So we're going to be asking them, if we're asking them to fork over or make more money or make fundamental changes to the way that we're currently collecting revenue, they need to be aware of that, and there has to be a certain comfort level with them. And then that will also in turn make it easier for, if we have a unified message by the one person who represents the entire state, that's going to make it easier for the legislators to say, look, this is what we got to have, and it will give us the coverage too that we need to get the votes to be able to get it through any tax changes through the General Assembly. Centralizing anything can be problematic, and well, it could be very well intentioned. The temptation in Frankfort will be to sweep accounts and do things like that, and not return and make the local governments whole too. I know one thing, in the state government we would have no interest in centralized collection by the federals and then divvying back to us. So really I don't see how we could be pass that on, and you know, we would say no to the feds doing that, so there's no way that the counties and cities would welcome us collecting their, saying trust us, we're going to send you back what you deserve. So that's going to be a hard sell if that becomes part of any package, I think. And I think our caucus, I know Speaker Hoover is committed to looking at that, and I think in the coming days and months that you'll see we're going to really look at what other states are doing and try and align not just our overall tax code, but also our road formula taxes to the modern economy and the modern demographics that we currently have in. You know, Kentucky's changed a lot demographically and financially since our current tax codes were adopted.